Okay, well, I guess I can't turn it that way. All right. Hello, my dears. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a little frustrated. I have been uh, sitting here fussing about this doggone streaming. It won't work right. Damn it. Oh, I have no idea why it won't work. My microphone will not work. I'll set it up ahead of time, get it all straight. Then when I get ready to go live, every single doggone time, it's not working. So that's about to be a program that I'm gonna leave alone. All right. I done talked to customer service. I done did everything that I can possibly do. Screw it. I'm over it. All right. I'm done. All right. Okay. Peggy, you with me? I see somebody's with me already. Peggy, I know you can never find me, right? Hold on, let me make sure nothing was working. Nothing was working the way it's supposed to, but that's okay. I'm going to breathe, okay? We're going to do our deep breathing together, and I'm going to need to because I'm a little frustrated. All right. Where am I live? Where am I at? You know, of course, I can't find it on Facebook. I'm trying to tell you, this seemed like a great idea before, but you know what? It sucks now. I'm so glad you found me, Peggy. Hi. And I can't even get the thing to turn sideways. Won't even do what I needed to do. I'm just over it today. Apparently, it's just not going to go the way I planned it to. And like that's any different than any other night. But anyway, all right. We are here. We are together. My poor people on Instagram, they just missing out because I can only go live in one place with this camera. So, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you are here ready to learn a little bit about getting on the healing path after infidelity. I hope you are ready to talk a little bit about forgiving because we were talking about that a little earlier in group, and that was a fascinating conversation that I would really like to pick up on. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before all of that, welcome to the Healing Hour Live. I should be on YouTube and Instagram with this too, but you all are still my special people, and no matter what, I will always come live for you, my group, my Love After Cheating group. Let's see. I guess we just go ahead and get started. So the first two things that I'm always going to tell you about trying to get over infidelity are very simple things that are going to help you deal with the trauma that you have been through. Number one is going to be doing your deep breathing. You need to practice deep breathing. If you're not doing it, you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm trying to tell you because you are going through a trauma and your body does things a little bit differently when you are going through a trauma. When you are going through a trauma, your brain is screaming for you to back off and be away from the people that hurt you. And it is also screaming that you're in super danger. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala. It's an itty bitty part in the very back of your brain, like the base part of your brain, that is like the worst case scenario portion of your brain. When we were cave people, that's when it developed. And when you could walk outside the cave and get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, that part of your brain had to exist to let you know, hey, there is danger outside this cave. Your life might be in danger. Let me let you know about it. Well, when we stopped having to deal with the saber-toothed tigers, that part of our brain was still there. It still needed something to do. And so it alarms and it says that things that are emotionally painful are life and death situations. And if you are feeling like this is a life and death situation, your body is going to do some things automatically because it's trying to save you. Your breathing is going to be very labored and struggling. Your chest is going to hurt because your blood is trying to be pumped to other places in your body. You are not going to think as well because there's not as much blood going to your brain. Your lungs are pumping pumping as much oxygen into your blood as they possibly can in order to get you ready to fight or run. You know about the fight or flight reflex, right? So that's what it's getting ready to do. What you do when you deep breathe is you stop that progress. You stop that process in your body and you tell your body no. That's not what we're doing right now. We are going to calm down. We don't need to fight or run. We just need to calm ourselves, center ourselves. We are not in danger. And that's how you signal to your body that you're not in danger, by doing your deep breathing. And then your brain can let it go. When you do that and you reset the system, your body is like, oh, okay, you must be okay. There's no other reason that you would be able to take these deep breaths and be all right if you weren't okay, if you weren't in any danger. So even though our brains make up the danger, we can convince them that the danger isn't real. We just have to practice. So practice your deep breathing. We are going to do our deep breathing together. I hope you will join me in doing your deep breathing. What we do is we do a 4-7-8 breathing. You blow out, getting rid of extra carbon dioxide that's built up in your lungs. You inhale through your nose or through your mouth. If you can't breathe through your nose, some people got allergies, it's fine. Breathe in for a count of 4. You're going to hold that breath for a count of 7. Then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out a whole cake full of birthday candles for a count of 8. What you're doing is you're regulating your breath. You're telling your body, I am getting full oxygen in. I am fully releasing carbon dioxide. I am in control. I am okay. There is no need for you to think that anything is dangerous for me right this second. All right. So we're going to do our deep breathing. We're going to do it 3 times together. Now, I do want you to do it 5 times a day if you're doing it on your own. I had created a video on YouTube. Go to my Love Coach Dasha channel. Watch the video. I will walk you through it 5 times straight, okay? But 5 times a day, but just 3 right now because of time, all right? So we're going to blow out. Inhale through your nose. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Blow out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Lovely. Isn't that wonderful? Doesn't it feel good? Let me know. How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Have you been doing your deep breathing? I'm always going to ask you that. Have you been doing your deep breathing? You need to be doing that. If you're not doing that, you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm trying to tell you. It's one of those very simple things, and people will tell you, oh, you should be doing deep breathing. And most people kind of dismiss it. Most people are like, well, I breathe already anyway. But there is a way to breathe that will calm your anxiety, and there is a way to breathe that will increase your anxiety. So let's go for the one that will decrease the anxiety. Let's go for the one that will help you instead of the one that's hurting you. Okay? Does that make sense? I want you to go for it, all right? The second thing that I'm always going to tell you, I'm going to tell you in every single solitary video, is to do your journaling. You need to journal. You need to journal. I know that's another one of those things that people tell you, oh, you need to journal. You need to write down your feelings. And you're like, what the hell good does that do? Oh, it does so much good. It does so much good. First of all, you're giving yourself a little bit of self-care. Okay. And this is my word of the week over there on YouTube too. So I got a video just about journaling too. But this is my word of the week over on YouTube too. You need to be journaling. You need to take that time, at least 5 minutes for yourself, and just organize your thoughts. Get them out of your head, put them down on paper. And I suggest doing this 2 times a day. Once in the morning, when you first wake up, before you put foot to floor, okay, do your deep breathing and journal. And down a bottle of water too while you're at it. But I digress. Either way, first thing in the morning, take 5 minutes for you, for your own mental well-being, because none of this is going to get fixed. You're not going to feel better. You're not going to be able to be at your best unless you are getting control over your brain and your reactions. So this is a critical part of doing that. So first things first, get up, 5 minutes, write about how you're feeling. Get things out, plan the day, whatever your intention is for the day, write it on down. All right. And then move forward with your day with that already down. You have already taken a few minutes for yourself. You're feeling good. You are feeling like you can handle this, because you have taken 5 minutes for yourself without stressing about everything else that's going on. You just poured out your heart into your journal. And then before you go to bed at night, this is a great way to decompress, get that stuff out of your head, all the negative thoughts that you've had, things that, examine your day. Try and figure out on a scale of 1 to 10, like, was it really a bad day, or am I having a bad moment right now as I'm trying to write this? And when you balance the two out and you figure out, like, okay, well, I actually wasn't having that bad of a day. I didn't do badly until, this time, this particular thing happened, this trigger popped up. And then what you're doing when you're journaling like that, you are going into your journal and you are giving yourself clues. You are a scientist now. You have data to look at. You can go back and say, okay, yes, this actually was a pretty good day. And you know what? I found out that this particular thing triggered me. Okay, so what can I do about that trigger before it hits me another time? Before I'm miserable again for the same exact reason, because they come up over and over again. So if you have acknowledged it in your journal and you go back and read it, guess what? It won't sneak up on you again. It will not do that, because you know that it's coming, and then you have a plan for it when it gets there. All right. So always deep breathing, journaling. All right. Any questions about that? I know same thing every cotton picking week, but guess what? I'm going to tell you every week from now on too, because those two things are important. And if you're not doing them, you are not helping yourself as much as you could be. And you need to work on that. All right. All right. So let me see. Oh, let me just mention the Confidence Confidential Challenge is coming up. I put a post in the group, but I'm going to put it in the banner above so that you can sign up for the Confidence Confidential. I'm trying to tell you, we're going to have fun. We're going to work on our self-esteem. We're going to feel good. Okay. We're going to try and work on feeling a little bit better about ourselves. All right. And Thirsty Thursday, we got good stuff happening in Thirsty Thursday. I always like to hear positive stuff. You got to share your triumphs. You got to let people know, okay, my life is not just this trauma. And when you remind other people of that, it reminds your own brain of that. It reminds your brain that, no, my life is not all terrible. Some bad things are happening, yes, and I am dealing with them, but I have good stuff that happens in my life too. So go on over to the Thirsty Thursday post and let me see. Dara says we close on our new house today. That's what I'm talking about. You are opening a brand new chapter together. You are here. You are with each other. You are moving into a new space. You know what I'm saying? That's a very important thing to do. When you get into that new space together, get that new mindset, that new perspective going, I'm trying to tell you, things start going so much better. When we moved away from the area that we were in, everything was so much easier, because the old triggers weren't there anymore. The old people weren't there anymore. It was a lot simpler. Okay. So excellent. I'm so glad for you, Azara. Congratulations on your house. All right. Peggy, you got me good news too. Okay. He is participating in counseling and working on us. That's what I'm trying to say. He sent me this text in the middle of the night last night. I know it isn't enough, but I recognize that you are trying. By the way, I could never do enough to stop your pain. I'm willing to try something positive though. Just need some divine guidance. Oh, he's struggling. He don't know what to do to fix this. And that's what it is. A lot of the time, they have no idea what to do to fix this. A lot of the time, that's what happens. You mess something up real good, and then you're like, oh, hell, how do I fix this now? How do I go back and make this right after I've done so wrong? And that's really difficult. And you're trying to work with them. And I totally understand that. But, if you got somebody who's willing and they recognize that they hurt you, sometimes you got to give them a little bit of a break. Let them understand. I know that you know you messed up. I believe that you're trying to fix it. Let's move forward together. All right. So I love that. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm glad about that. Come join me for the Confidence Confidential Challenge. We're going to have some fun. We're going to work on our self-esteem. And I'm so glad that we got some good stuff going on for Thirsty Thursday because, honey, it's not just bad stuff. Your life is not just this trauma of him cheating. It is not just that. It is so much more than that. All right. All right. So Peggy gave me this post the other day. And I had to, I had to ask a question. It's one of those ones. Sometimes I just go ahead and give you an answer, but sometimes I have to ask you a question. So she said, today at counseling, while talking about forgiveness, he said, I think letting me stay says she forgives me, but when she's angry and yells at me, that doesn't match. And I said, what part of that isn't true? Right? I was like, okay, well, what part of that is not true? Is the part about letting you stay, showing forgiveness, is that incorrect? Or is the part that when she's angry and yelling, it doesn't match up with being forgiving? And I was like, either part of that's actually not incorrect. He's not wrong about either one. All the women that work with me, everybody that's here, everybody that's going to catch this on the replay, you are here with me. You know what I do. Okay. You want to work this out. You have found somebody that you love and you care about and you want to be vulnerable to again. You want to forgive. You are in the process of forgiving. You're talking to a woman that's my expertise, is figuring out, how do we forgive? How do we reconcile? How do we recover from this? That is what I do. Okay. Keeping this relationship together, making you all feel like you are bonded again, making you feel like you're getting closer again, making you feel like you're putting that anger in the background just a little bit more and more every day. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So if you're here with me, I am trusting the fact that you are actually in the process of forgiving. That is what you're actually doing. People, and that Peggy came back and said that, well, I haven't forgiven him yet. And that's fine. That's fine that you haven't done it yet. But the thing is, you are in the process of forgiving. You are trying to get to the point. And now, if you Google it, right? If you say forgive on Google, okay, the first thing comes up is to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or a mistake. Okay? All right, that's just Googling it. Then you go a little deeper, get into Cambridge. Cambridge says stop blaming or being angry with someone for something that the person has done, or not to punish them for something. Okay? But I like Wikipedia. Wikipedia was like, psychologically, this is an intentional and voluntary process by which one who may have initially felt victimized undergoes a change in feelings and attitude regarding the given offense and overcomes negative emotions such as revenge or vengeance or resentment, however justified it may be. Now, this is one of those things that you're justified. Okay, yeah, you're justified if you wanted to be vengeful, if you wanted to keep being angry, if you wanted to keep being resentful. Yeah, sure, you could have the justification that you could do that. But you're coming to me. You love this person, okay? And that is where your decision-making steps in. Besides the fact that they have done this terrible thing, you are still making this decision that they are worthy of continuing an association with you, of still being in your life, of being your partner. All right. So if that's not forgiveness, I don't know what is. I don't know what else to call that. If you have decided that in spite of them being a total asshole about this situation, you still want to work things out. You have a forgiving heart. You want to forgive. So what I need you to do is to decide, okay, and that's the first step of the dreams formula, right? I need you to make a decision. I needed to make a decision about what your intention is. I talk about the decision all the time. The decision is super important. You need to make the decision that this person is worth your time and your effort. Okay. Now, You're here. So I'm assuming that you feel that way, but I want you to go through it and be very intentional about it and make up your mind right now. All right? And the only two reasons that you would stay. This is like this is like the basic two divergence of the path. If you were going to stay, you would probably are staying for love. You're staying because this is the person that you love. This is the person that you've opened your heart to. This is the person you see yourself being with and living with until death do you part. Okay? This is the person for you. All right. And I trust that decision. I feel like if that is what is leading you, that this is your person, I totally understand that. My husband is my person. Okay. He hurt me a lot. We went through a whole host of ups and downs. He has a mental disorder. He has been to jail. He has done all sorts of stuff besides the cheating that would have made me run screaming for the hills with anybody else. But guess what? They weren't my person. He is my person. So if that is your person, that's great. But then there's the other divergence of this path is if your intention is to punish them. And you have to make this decision for yourself. This is not going to work if your intention is to punish them. It's not going to work. You're not going to be together. They're not just going to keep on taking it over and over and over again. Because let's be real. All right. Let's think about this from the opposite perspective. If this was you have done something wrong. You have done them dirty. Let's say that is you. And they're staying with you, but they're throwing it in your face every time they get a chance. They're getting triggered and getting angry and yelling at you when they feel like it. They're bringing up how badly you messed up on a regular basis. Now, if that is the case, would you feel like that is an appropriate way to be treating you? Even though you're wrong. Even though you're absolutely wrong, would that be a life you want to live? That seems like somebody is trying to punish you. And that is what, Peggy, that's what your husband is talking about. You're not looking like you're in this for love and forgiveness. You're looking like you're in this to hurt me more. You're looking like you're in this to punish me because you were hurt and you want to keep on lashing out as much as you can to hurt me as much as you can before I just throw up my hands and say, okay, fine, I give in. I give in. I see that you don't actually forgive me. You don't actually love me the way you say you are. You believe that you need to hurt me. And, at some point, anybody can get tired of that. If it were you, talk to me now. Let me know. Tell me if I'm lying. All right? Would you feel like that was abusive? Would you feel like that behavior towards you, just bringing up what you did wrong all the time and being miserable all the time and not wanting to do things with you and not wanting to touch you and not wanting to have sex with you and not just letting it go and going through all your stuff, going in your purse, seeing what's in your phone? Would you feel like that's appropriate? And I'm trying to tell you, you would not. That is something that women have been told for years and years. Okay, even if you did something wrong, it is never your fault if somebody is being abusive towards you. So if that's the case, it actually should be the case for our mates too. It should not be, oh, just because you did this wrong, then I get to keep on bashing you in the head as hard as I can, and you should just shut up and smile about it. You should just be okay with it, even though I'm telling you that I love you, and that's the reason that I'm here. I'm still going to try and hurt you every time I get the chance, because I'm hurt and I feel like you should just be suffering along with me. So you have to make up your mind about what your intention is. Is your intention to stay for love, or is your intention to stay for punishment? And if you're staying for punishment, you might as well bail, because I'm trying to tell you it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time for both you and them. You're just gonna be a more resentful, angry person because you're never gonna feel like you have punished them enough. You hurt so badly that no matter what you say and do right now, you don't feel like it's good enough, right? You don't feel like when you say something mean to him, when you scream at him, when you throw it in his face, you don't feel like it's enough. You feel like, well, I should do it again. And that relieves a little bit of pressure on me, but it actually doesn't make me feel any better. It doesn't heal me. It doesn't get me to the point where I feel like I'm forgiving, but it's punishment. And so it feels kind of good. And, they should just deal with it. You got to make up your mind. You have to figure out what it is that you are doing here. If you want to be with this person because you love this person, treat this person like you love them. It's not even a hard concept. And the thing is, I know that people will tell you, oh, well, that's just telling him that what he did was fine and it's okay for him to go ahead and cheat on me again. I know that's what they always say. Guess what I found out? That's a damn lie. That is a damn lie. You know what will make him not cheat on you again? Is the miracle that for some reason your love and your heart are big enough to accept that he's a complete asshole and still love him anyway. That is the thing that will make him not cheat again. You punishing him is damn guaranteeing he's going to go out and cheat again, because why not? I'm getting punished every day anyway. If you are saying, if somebody says that you committed a murder and you're like, no, I'm innocent, I did not do it, and they keep coming back and saying that you committed a murder and start punishing you for it, put you in jail, don't you feel like, well, shit, I should be able to do a murder then? I shouldn't have to suffer for something that I didn't do. That's the whole thing. If you want to be with each other, you're going to have to start putting this in the background. You're going to have to start letting this be in the past. You can't keep bringing it up. You can't keep going through his stuff. Oh, come on. Okay, look. The whole going through his stuff thing. Let me address that real quick. I know everybody feels like they have the right to. I am your mate. I have the right to go through whatever I feel like I should be able to go through of yours. And that is not true. You do not have a right. You do not. And then if you're doing something, especially if they've asked you not to do it, and you go back and do it again, you're not trustworthy either. You're a liar too. So if you want them to live up to your standards, you got to be living up to your standards. If you're saying that you're here for love and you are here for reconciliation and you want the two of you to be close again and you don't want this to end your relationship, you got to act like that. You can't act like the relationship is just destroyed. You're just destroyed. You'll never be the same person again. They'll never be the same person again. So you have to decide when you're doing, and it's still coming back to the first step of the dreams formula, decide what you want to do. You're going to have to decide whether you are going to stop being a victim by one of two ways. Either some people stop being a victim by becoming victimizers, by people who come back and punish and make it miserable and make life just a never-ending cycle of you did wrong and I'll just never forgive you for that. Or you can stop the cycle of being a victim by remembering that he's not just some damn perpetrator. He is not just any old person that randomly hurts you on the street. This is the person that you opened up to and that you love and that you care about and you want to be close to. When you stop looking at him as a perpetrator all the time, well, everything has to come back to, well, if he does this, then that means he's going to cheat on me. If he doesn't want me to go through his stuff, which I'm telling you, all my life growing up, I have been told that men are not supposed to go through our stuff. I have been told that that is a sign of abuse. That is one of those things that they should not be doing. It is a red flag. Now, if it's a red flag for them, guess what? It's a red flag for us too. It is not a good thing to do. It's creepy. Okay, it's creepy. And then you're prolonging your suffering. You are going and looking for a problem, even when there isn't one going on right now. Everything is all right now. You're trying to work on it. You say that you want to forgive. You say that you want to love, but you're going to look for a problem. That doesn't match. So that is what your husband was saying, Peggy. That was what he was talking about. You've got to match up what you really want with your actions. Our feelings, of course, you feel very much like your feelings are very valid and they are authentic. So anything that comes from those feelings has to be authentic and has to be valid too. The problem with that is that's why he cheated. His feelings felt very authentic and very valid, and he went out and did the wrong thing. So the same thing is happening with you. Your feelings feel very, very authentic, very valid. And I'm not going to say that they're not, but you have to check what your behavior is along with those feelings, because you have control over what you do. I don't care how strong the feeling is. You said to him, well, I don't care how you were feeling. You had control over not sticking your dick in that girl. Didn't he? Right? So if that's the case, no matter how you're feeling, you have the responsibility of not acting like you hate him on a regular basis. You have the responsibility of acting like you actually want to forgive. Okay? Does that make sense? I know I've been talking about this for a minute, but that got me all worked up earlier today. Because, the fact is, this is a wound. That just like it's a trauma. I was a nurse for 21 years, okay? This 21 years in June. You can't heal a wound if you keep digging your finger in it. You can't heal a wound if you keep ripping it back open and pouring dirt into it. Okay? This is just basic like wound care 101 from a nurse, okay? Just not even about emotional stuff. Just think of this as a wound. If you keep digging your finger around in there, aren't you going to make it infected? That is what you do when you keep on coming back and talking about it and responding to the triggers by talking to them about it and making them feel bad and trying to drag them down and trying to see remorse. Like, how can I see some more remorse from you? And wanting that more than you want to be happy. That's the difference, right? If you're so stuck on the remorse part, that means remorse is deep regret or guilt for a wrong committed. You want them to feel like that. You're not worried about them loving you. You're worried about them hurting, which is pursuing punishment and not love. Does that make sense? Honey, I'm trying to tell you. Let me let you know that was the thing. If I could figure that out, that was the main thing that if I could tell everybody. That is the big thing to know. Because if you want them to keep on feeling bad about it, because you feel bad about it, instead of you working on feeling better and letting them feel okay, then you just want punishment. You don't want love. You don't want this relationship. You just want to hurt this person. Peggy said, I'm just so afraid he's going to do it again. I didn't check on him the whole 5 years. I was not living here and he cheated on me the whole 5 years. Yes, and that is a different type of situation, because a lot of that long distance stuff, cheating does happen. It really does. And that may not have anything to do with your relationship in general, but it was like, okay, you're not here. That's what happened a lot of time with the military. That's a big thing in the military. That's why so many soldiers and sailors cheat, and their wives too. Let's not ignore that. The civilian side and the military side, because they're away from each other. People don't do their best relationship work apart. They just don't. So, okay, yeah, now we are in a different situation. You're not away all the time. You're right there. And so now you want to live with him and make him suffer about this every day, instead of actually enjoying the time that you are together now. You're together. Have fun. Yeah, he was probably thinking by the time you actually settled down and you were going to be with him, it was going to be good times. But now you found out about this. So now it's just ongoing misery, when you could just be enjoying one another when you didn't have the opportunity to enjoy one another before. So I want you to just enjoy him. Be happy. Stop going for the remorse. Stop making that be your goal as you go forward, because then you're not really healing. You're just a dominatrix at that point. You're dishing out the punishment. And, if that's what he's into, that's great. But most people are not into just being punished day in and day out. It gets tiresome. Okay, have you ever been punished day in and day out? That ever happened to you? You ever been with somebody and they just made you miserable all the time because they were miserable all the time? They were always suspecting you. I had a boyfriend like that, just always suspicious, just everything. I wasn't even cheating, but everything could have been that I was cheating, and he's so miserable, and I don't treat him right. And I was like, dude, what? What do you need from me? That's why we're not together. Okay, but if you love somebody, treat them like you love them. If you want the relationship to work, act like a person who wants the relationship to work, not like a person who is miserable and wants to yell all the time. Act like a person who's happy. All right, does that make sense? I don't know. Whew, I had made notes. Look, I made notes earlier today. I made 2 pages of notes talking about this. I wanted y'all to know because, the dreams formula, of course, that first step is always your decision. And that is a powerful thing. And people skip over that and act like it's not a powerful thing. But making this decision, number one, is powerful because you are deciding that no matter what else is going on in the whole wide world, you are still in control of what your life is going to become. All right. Just because they did this wrong does not mean they're in control and that your life is just ruined forever. That's something that you think first in the devastation phase. When you're just in a puddle on the floor, you're like, my life is ruined. I am broken forever. There is nothing that will ever fix this. Yes, the big feelings come, but that's not true. Again, just because a feeling is there and it feels authentic and it feels valid does not mean that it's true. All right. You don't have to believe everything you feel. You don't have to believe everything you think either. Truth be told, our brains lie to us all the time. Did you know that our brains lie to us all the time? Right this second, in the middle of your vision, each eyeball, there's a black spot. All right. There's a spot where there is no vision because of the area where your retina is attached in your head. Okay. There is a black spot in the middle of your vision that you do not see. You know why? Because your brain lied to you. Your brain was like, let me fill this in. Push that in. Okay. Now the brain won't see it. Then the eyes won't see it. So the brain just covers it up. Just makes it so it's not there. So some of the things that your brain will tell you, especially when you're existent in trauma, is not true. Everything that, the fear, like, oh, well, if he does this again, all of those thoughts usually are not true. They're usually lies. They're just things that your brain is telling you, that little part of your brain, that amygdala, is telling you to make you back off of being in the relationship again, to make you back off of being close to and connected with somebody again, because that was the problem. You were close and you were connected and you were loving and you were feeling good, and then this bad thing happened. So then that must mean, oh, well, that I can never feel good again. I can never feel love. I can never feel open. I can never feel vulnerable. I can never feel like I did before. And that's a lie. That is not true. So don't have to believe everything you think. You don't have to believe everything you feel. And all feelings are temporary. All your feelings are temporary, okay? You can hold on to them. You can make them last longer. But most feelings are very floaty, very drifty. Most of the time, the feeling, if you are trying to focus on something positive and you're having a negative feeling, you can let the negative feeling go. The negative feeling will skedaddle if you let it. But if you're holding on to it and you're yelling every single time and you're bringing up problems and you're miserable and you're always going through this stuff and you're always looking for a problem and you're checking up on it, if you're doing all of that, you're miserable. You're not having any fun. The relationship isn't great because you're just doing all of the things out of fear instead of doing the things out of love. And then you're just miserable. You're sad all the time. You're angry all the time. You feel betrayed and messed up all the time. So when you start to do the positive stuff, when you start to think better thoughts, when you start to say, well, I'm worried about he's going to do this again. Replace that with, no, he's not going to do this again. This is a person who loves me. He understands how much he hurt me. We are going to move on from here, and this is not going to be a problem going into our future. That's what you have to do. That is what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is not a moment. Like I said earlier today, forgiveness has never been just a moment. Forgiveness has always been a series of moments, of choices. Same way you decide whether you're doing this for love or whether you're doing this for punishment, you can decide whether you're going to forgive or not. And if you choose to forgive, it has to be every time there's an opportunity, every time you feel it welling up in you that I could be angry, I could be upset. You have to say, okay, that's not what I'm going for. My intention is not to punish. My intention is not to do that. My intention is to love and to forgive and to make this relationship to be a good thing like it was before in my head. The way I thought it was wonderful. This is who I wanted to be with. So I am going to work on making it like that again. I am not going to do this just to punish. I am not going to steer off and do the mean stuff when I could just not. Okay? Sometimes you don't know what else to do. Just don't do the mean thing. Sometimes it feels like, well, I got to yell, go write in your journal. Why are you yelling? That is a perfect time for you to sit down and write in your journal. Absolutely perfect time. So why aren't you doing that? See, you gotta work on your journaling, gotta work on your deep breathing. And that's another thing. Calming yourself down, centering yourself, doing your deep breathing, just bringing yourself back to center. Just bringing yourself back to who do I want to be? Do I want to be who the trauma wants me to be? The trauma wants you to be a bitch. The trauma wants that. That's what the trauma wants. The trauma is like, be an absolute bitch who does not connect. Don't open yourself up anymore. Don't love. Don't care. Don't be vulnerable ever again. Okay? So, that's not what you want, is it? Is that what you want? That's not what you want. All right, Peggy, you say when you yell, you're out of 10. You say you're not able to write. Okay, well, you know what? I told you about one of my favorite things. I go to the thrift store and get myself little teacups, okay? There are several of them in my house right now in case I need them. But I haven't had to break a teacup in a good long while. But that's what I would do. I go out and I smash something, okay? I go be a little bit destructive. Because what you want to do is you want to be destructive, but let's not be destructive towards the person you're supposed to love. You keep saying that you love him and you want him to recognize that, and you want him to recognize that you are trying to forgive him. But if you keep acting like you don't, then that makes it out like you're a liar. You keep saying one thing and doing another. So sometimes, just go out, smash up some stuff. And you got all mad about that SD card. You done gone in his stuff, gone through an SD card, found an SD card, put it in something, and found out a picture was up there. Woo, Lord, girl, that was a lot of work to hurt your feelings. That was a lot of work to stress yourself out, and you could have just chosen to live up to what you said, because you said that you weren't going to go through his stuff anymore. You could have just lived up to what you said and not found that and not had this argument at all. And that's what he's trying to say about the whole thing. He was like, well, if you hadn't done what you said you weren't going to do, then guess what? This argument wouldn't be happening. And yes, I know if he hadn't gone off and done what he did, then you wouldn't have wanted to look. But at some point, you are responsible for your behavior. Some point, you got to believe that. All right. You said you forgot about that. You have to go buy some cheap plates. Teacup. Look, you know what I'm saying? The little dainty ones. Because they smash good. Okay. A little porcelain. It's a beautiful thing. All right. It's very satisfying that, the pieces flying. Yeah, it's beautiful. Just make sure wearing some pants and some shoes. Because when you smash, it smashes in all directions and it'll hit you in the legs. So gotta watch out for that. Or be like above and smash it. But it's really satisfying to smash it on the same level. It's on the ground where you are. It's very, very satisfying. So, that's what I would say. Instead of yelling, go smash something. Go scream into a pillow. You don't have to direct it towards him. All right. What'd you say? He said that, but he did also say that yes, he knew that if he hadn't done what he did, there wouldn't have been anything for me to find. Yes, that is true, but you were already in the mind state of I'm gonna go find something he's doing wrong. I am gonna try to find something to prove that I shouldn't trust him, to prove that I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't forgive him. Where did that even come from? Had he been doing anything? Yeah, I mean, what made you decide that that was a good idea to do to yourself? To go looking for stuff that you knew was going to cause you pain. That he probably hadn't even seen since it happened. And you done gone and dug up some stuff that he probably hasn't even looked at since he got it from the girl. But it's very important. I know this is not a popular opinion, but you really shouldn't go through somebody else's stuff. It's first of all, it's creepy. Okay, it's not a good habit. If the roles were reversed, that is one of the things that's on the list that they give women. This is a red flag of an abusive person that you are in a relationship with. If they feel like they can go all through your stuff, they can take things, they can question you about things, they can make you uncomfortable about the things that are in your possession. That is a sign of an abuser. So let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's make sure, go down a list, find one of those lists, because they have them everywhere, right? Of signs of abuse, and check that and make sure that you're not doing that stuff just because you're so angry you feel like they deserve it and they should just wear it with a smile and they should just deal with it because you're hurt, so they should just suffer. That's not fun. Nobody has any good feeling with that. It was the gut feeling telling me to look in that place. Okay, stop listening to your gut feelings. Stop it. That gut feeling, that is anxiety. That is not intuition. That is not some sort of telepathy. It's not. It is just, I am anxious and I am looking for a problem. And okay, this could be a small place that I could find a problem. Let me go search through that. You will go through methodically and keep on going through all of his stuff if you let yourself. Because just because you've thought, oh, well, let me look in this area, and oh, I found this SD card, and oh, let me look on this SD card. Okay, just because you found it in that area does not mean that you won't stop, that you won't continue to do that every day. Okay, especially now that you found something. Oh, good Lord, that reinforces the anxiety loop in your brain. That's what that was. That wasn't a gut feeling. That was anxiety. Anxiety was like, is he still cheating on me? Is he hiding anything from me? Let me go look. Let me not trust him. Let me not work on my trust. Let me not say, okay, no, I am not going to do what I said I wasn't going to do. No, I'm not going to do that. I am going to intentionally break my word, and I'm going to go try and find something that is going to hurt my feelings. Okay? That's not a good idea. It's not. I know everybody will tell you that you have the right to do that, and you should just go check, and you should have some transparency, but it's not cool. It's not okay, and it just reinforces that part of your brain that is super anxious, that is telling you to go look. So you never trust. That's the problem with that. You never get back to trust that way. That's not the path to trust. If you are constantly checking, that is checking. You are actually like verifying. You are actually looking and getting information. You're not believing in them at all. That's not what it is. And so then you're like, well, how do I get my trust back? You gotta believe in them sometimes. Sometimes, just a little bit. All right. What do you do with the picture? What do you do with the SD card? Did you smash it and you make them get rid of it? You burn it? What'd you do? Let me know. All right. Whew. Wow. I'm talking so hard. I'm starting to sweat. Yes. All right. Any questions? Any comments, thoughts, complaints? Anything going on? I need questions. Give me questions. I see you're here. I see you're with me. If you're here now, if you're on the replay, it doesn't matter. Give me some questions. I will answer them for you. So one of his favorite sayings is trust but verify until it comes to him. Well, you know what? You're probably the only person in the whole wide world he just wants to trust. That you're probably the only person he's like, okay, damn it. If nobody else in the world will just trust me, I want you to trust me. You're the person I live with. So yeah, it's not totally unreasonable. You want him to trust you without verifying. So you wadded up the picture that I printed out. I snapped the SD card in half. Okay, so yeah. So he probably hadn't even been looking at it. You had to print the picture. Why did you print that out? You had to print the picture out. Okay, then, okay, he's done with the picture. He didn't have the SD card on him. He wasn't looking at it. It wasn't on his phone. He wasn't just regularly looking at this girl. It was just the SD card. He had it in his possession. Bring it down a couple notches. And you want him to be upset. You want him to be remorseful about you breaking your word. Okay? We gotta back it up to that, okay? You want him to be remorseful because you broke your word first. You just had that gut feeling, and even though that's a negative thing, you were like, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm going to make sure that I am a liar, and I'm gonna go look for his stuff anyway. And so what? He shouldn't even be able to say anything about it. Well, he should be able to say something. You're gonna say something about him lying. So if you're gonna lie, then you can't be mad at him for lying. That's the whole thing about this. If you want to say, okay, this is the standard, this is how you should be treating me, this is how I'm supposed to be treating you, then you have to actually go through with that. You can't say, I want you to love me and I want you to act like you care about me and I want you to be my one and only, and then I treat you bad. Like, it doesn't go together. And that doesn't heal you. That doesn't get you to the point where you feel any better. Because right now, is this helping? Is going through his stuff helpful? Is yelling at him helpful? Does that really do anything for you? Does it help you feel any better? I tried it and it didn't do it. I worked on it. I yelled a lot. I'm a good yeller, okay? I took drama. I know how to make my voice reach. You can hear me a block away when I get going, but it didn't help. It'd be one thing if it actually helped you. If it made you feel better, if it made him feel better, but it just makes you feel terrible, makes him feel like there's just absolutely no point and nothing is ever going to get better anyway, so why should I even try? And then both of you are stuck in a place feeling like you can't do any better than you're doing. So you just got to do better than you're doing. Gotta work on that. Stop worrying about them trying to be remorseful and worry about if they're loving you. They're acting like they love you. If they're acting like they care about you, he's acting like he loves you and cares about you. He's in therapy with you. He is telling you that he wants to be forgiven. Obviously, he wants to be forgiven. He is trying. He is trying to be with you. He is trying to deal with all the mood swings and all the triggers and still come through it with you. But if you never give any sign that it will ever be okay, then yeah, he's going to get tired. That's when he's going to cheat again. That's when it will happen, is the misery, that punishment going over and on and on. I guess I was a bad kid. I don't know. I was on punishment a lot. And every time I got on punishment, that made me want to do everything even worse. Even more. I was like, okay, all right, you're going to punish me for it? Guess what? I'm going to do better next time. I'm going to do worse next time. But when you're forgiven, when my grandmother was more of that mindset of trying to forgive and trying to, talk me through it and say, I know this wasn't your best, and I expect better from you, and I'm not going to be mad at you, and I'm not going to punish you for it. I'm just going to let you know that I expect better from you, and then we're going to move on. My grandmother was really good at that, and that really affected me. That would make me not want to do it again. But my mom punishing me? Oh, hell yeah, I want to do it again. Well, shoot, if you're going to make me suffer, well, then I might as well earn it then. And that's a lot of the time. That's the way men feel. Men are very, very much on that, okay, you're going to challenge me? Well, fine then. It's just going to suck for everybody type of thing. So the whole punishment thing, it doesn't work. It does not work towards making them not do it again. So what you're doing isn't working. The yelling, the bringing it up, throwing it in his face, the going through his stuff, it's not working. So you have to do something different. And the thing that you do different is you act like you love the person. You act like a person who has forgiven. Even if you don't know if you can do that, you just practice it. You go for it. You try. Every time you get the opportunity. Every time there's an opportunity to trust, you trust. Treat this person like you love this person, like they're worth this effort in everything that you do. Don't let the feelings just run. Because I'm trying to tell you, that's what they thought. They were like, my feelings, my feelings. And then they ran off and cheated. So your feelings, your feelings. And then you run off and be mean to them and treat them bad. It's not a good thing for the relationship at all. It's not productive. It's not going to help. It's not going to make you feel any better. So you got to try a different path. That's where I come in to get you on the healing path. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm doing with you. So I want you to be able to get on the healing path and stay on the healing path, okay? Work on it. Every day you need to be working on this instead of yelling. When it starts to well up, you've got to check out. If you are already at a 10 before you know it, you've got to start working on regulating your emotions. You've got to start saying, okay, wait. I feel it. It's starting to well up. Let me go do my deep breathing. Let me do some exercise. Let me calm myself. Let me center myself. Let me do my journaling. Whatever it is that makes you feel better. A little self-care. I don't care what it is. Whatever will stop that feeling from welling up and pouring out of your mouth, you got to start doing. So you got to start recognizing sooner. You can't just let it roll and then all of a sudden you're yelling and screaming and you're at a 10. No, we can't do that. We got to bring it back down a couple notches. Check yourself when you're like at a 6 or 7 and it's starting to rise up and you're starting to feel the bitch is coming out. Whew, we got to clamp her back down. All right. I have a name for my bitchy side. She's Rashida. And I will only say that one time because she's like Candyman. You say it 3 times, I swear she shows up. And she doesn't like my husband. All right? She doesn't like him. Okay? Now, I don't know why. I don't know what it is about her and him. And I don't know why they don't get along. But they do not get along. And I try very hard to keep that chick away from my husband. And he has an alter ego too. I don't even say his name. But he doesn't like me. I can be the nicest, sweetest, most wonderful wife, and that part of him does not like me. So you have to figure out that part of yourself that is willing to throw the whole thing away. That part of yourself that is willing to just, screw it. And you got to get control over that part of yourself, okay? You got to reel her back in. Tell her, no, this is not what we're doing. You're not going to ruin my life, okay? Does that make sense? You let me know. Let me know if I'm talking crazy. I know I don't say what other people say. I do not say what most relationship therapists and all that say, because a lot of that is, depending on the other person to start doing their part. That is actually not necessary. I promise you, it is not necessary to start with. You can, all by yourself, start to heal yourself and start to heal the relationship without their help at all. You can do that. That's the only reason that I started doing this, because I wanted women to know, hell yeah, you can do it. You can actually be the person that fixes this. You can be the hero of your own story. You just got to make up your mind that that's what you want to do. You have to decide whether you're here because you love this person and you want to be with this person and you want to show love, or you just want to punish them. You want to hurt them. They hurt you, so you're just going to make them suffer and you're going to make them miserable as long as you possibly can until, the whole thing falls apart because you have just been a miserable soul the whole time. You got to make up your mind. When you make up your mind, I'm trying to tell you, you can change the things around you. When you change, when you do things differently, like the things that you're doing right now are not working. Do things differently. Do them out of love, out of that abundance of caring that you have for this person. Do them out of that, and I promise you, everything starts to change around you. You stop having to worry about it. I don't have to worry about that at all. I haven't had to worry about my husband cheating for years upon years. It has been... it'll be 14 years in November since the last D-Day, but I haven't had to worry about him really trying to be with anybody else for years. Like, actually trying to, cheat on me. I haven't had to worry about him doing that. The only times that he would, be, talking to somebody online is when he is, going full manic and he hasn't slept in days and he's doing something stupid because he's manic, because his mental illness, not because he just wanted to cheat on me. But I haven't had to worry about that in a long time. And what I'm telling you is what made it possible for me not to have to worry about it anymore. Um, what I'm telling you about forgiving and letting it be a process and reminding yourself when you're like, I don't forgive him. Well, I'm trying to. I am working on that. I am actively in the process of forgiving. So yeah, I may not have gotten there yet, but every one of my actions, I'm going to try and line up with that goal. That's what I'm going to try and do. So when you start doing that on a regular basis and start schooling your brain and making it more disciplined and not just listening to the negative emotions anymore, your brain will start to work with you. You just got to go for it. You got to push forward and decide what you want and then act like what you want. And your brain will believe whatever you tell it to. Your brain will believe that everything is fine and that you are safe if you act like everything is fine and you're safe. It will stop being so miserable. I promise it will. I promise it will. All right. And I think you've been in pain long enough. I think you've been in pain long enough. I think you've had quite enough of the pain. I think it's time for us to move on and get to a better portion of our relationships. Okay. I'm trying to tell you, I'm past the pain. And honey, let me tell you, it's a freeing thing to be past the pain. It is so much better on this side. So I want you to come over to this side with me. So come on, let me help you along. And the main way you can do that coming up this month is to go sign up for the Confidence Confidential Challenge. That is in my Instagram bio. It is in the Facebook group. I'm going to put it everywhere. I'm just putting it everywhere. I can put it on Love Coach Dasha page. Love After Cheating. I'm going to put it everywhere so that you can come and sign up and come do a challenge with me. Come have some fun. Win prizes, because I give prizes. I give good prizes. I give journals. Look. This is a prize. This is a prize. This is up for grabs next time. This is a prize. Mindfulness journal. This is up for grabs too. So come join me. Come do that with me. And you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to feel more confident, and you're going to move forward making this decision in love instead of in dominatrix form, instead of in I want to punish you form. All right. I think that's about all. I got for you today. I was a little late starting, so I'm a little late finishing, but that's all right. I enjoy being with you, so I always want to give you a little extra. Any questions? Anything? I don't see any. I'm still annoyed about my StreamYard thing. I was just complaining to customer service. I'm like, dude, seriously, I cannot get the sound up. Every single cotton picking time I am getting ready to go stream live, my microphone is not working. It'll work fine an hour before. I'll check it. I'll make sure that it works. I will go into the studio, make sure that the microphone is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Does fine. I did it an hour before I went on. Then I did it 10 minutes before I was going to go on. And guess what? Didn't work. And it's been 3 weeks in a row. So, yeah, I'm a little annoyed. I'm about to go back and fuss at customer service a little bit more and see if I can figure this out. But in the meantime, I have been having a wonderful time being here with you. If you are catching this on the replay, feel free to go ahead and put some comments below, some questions below, and I will still answer your questions. I have no problem with that. And if I'm going to put this on YouTube too, so of course you can put questions and comments on there too. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I told you I'm doing the Word of the Week video. I'm going to start doing more videos on YouTube. Start filling up my category. Start filling up my channel with stuff about how to get over this, how to get on the healing path and get past this infidelity. I need you to get past this trauma because I'm trying to tell you so much better on the other side. All right. That's it. That's all I got for you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for the Healing Hour Live. And I will be back again next week, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hopefully my streaming will work then. All right, y'all. I will talk to you again later.